What's good everyone, it's Zigzag here. Welcome back to another video. Today we are actually on OpenGuesser and I have an exciting sponsored collaboration here today with Heineken. So basically what's going to happen in today's video is that I'm going to have two satellite images and I'm going to have to try and guess the exact point at which they were taken, which of course is a really fun challenge. I don't think I've actually ever 25k'd satellite images before. At least if I have, it's been years since I did that on the channel. And of course this is part of Heineken's Rooftop Revival campaign, which I'll tell you more about through the course of this video. But I say let's get looking into this image. So we obviously have a ton of apartment buildings here. Feels like a very big city. And yeah, the green on the top of the roofs here definitely reminds me of Seoul. From what I read in the brief, this whole sponsorship centers around the city of Seoul. So I'm going to assume we're there. And I'm also going to assume that the compass is facing north here. So this kind of angle, like an east-northeast angle, I would say here. So immediately the Gangnam-gu kind of area here would make a lot of sense, right? And is Gangnam not kind of a party district? As far as I know, it is. So like this would be my first area to scan. Can we see any others? There are other areas with this angle, for example, over here, but this looks like maybe an industrial area. I mean, there are definitely angles around that can work. Maybe Incheon has some as well. I don't know. This definitely strikes me as probably the best area. So let's look at the details here. So we have a big four-way intersection, and to the west of it, we have a soccer pitch, I would say. And then that looks like a baseball diamond. I know baseball's really popular in South Korea. What's this to the left? Could that be a school? I feel like that is likely to be a school, maybe a hospital. Has a garden in the middle. I think it does look like a school to me. It would make sense with all the grounds next to it, right? But yeah, you can see just how packed Seoul is. Wait, this is actually the Heineken Star. I believe this is one of the locations of the Rooftop Revival. And so part of the campaign is to do with the fact that South Korean apartments keep getting smaller, and people are therefore less likely to invite you into their homes in South Korea, and young people due to economic pressures are often living with their parents. And so the idea behind the Rooftop Revival is opening up these spaces which aren't necessarily used. As you can see, there's a lot of space on South Korean roofs. So yeah, this would be one of those locations for the parties here, which means this is probably very recent imagery, which is cool. But I think it's time to get scanning for such a place. Okay, so I was looking at these green sections. Clearly this one doesn't work because that's a bunch of hotels. It also looks like what I'm scanning here is a double lane road, like one with a nature strip in the middle. And actually the one I've put my marker on actually has a railway between it, so it's divided. I don't think we're actually going to be there. One of these smaller roads, perhaps. Okay, so that's like a bunch of apartments there. I do think we got the right idea. We can switch to satellite mode. I think that's kind of cheating. Although that is a brief good look and it's much less green than what we're looking at here. So I was kind of thinking this would be straightforward, but yeah, maybe it does actually look quite different. I think that's kind of cheaty to use that. I'm not going to. I really did think it was going to be here, and so I stalled a bit because I didn't want the first round to go so quickly, but it seems like it's actually not that area, right? I don't know. I'm going to give it one last look for that kind of school shape with the football field. Okay, it's time to expand our search, I would say. Let's look for similar angles around the city. This little place here has also similar angles. Oh, this looks somewhat decent, I would say, right here. We don't have the roads being quite straight enough, but we do have like a big green area, so that was kind of appealing. Actually, now that I look at it more, it's not a complete grid. Like, yes, the main roads are on a grid, but this stuff over here is pretty jumbled up, so that's going to be useful as well, I would say. I will also allow myself to use Google later on if I can't find it just by pure scanning, which seems pretty likely. Okay, but look at this area. I did not see that on like first zoom, but this whole area here also has a very similar angle, to be fair. Okay, so let's check out these neighborhoods, see if they have any like bigger green areas. I'm imagining some of these will show up. Oh, middle school. This was really nice. The angle of the road's a bit wrong. You can see the angle is a bit more west versus this one, which is a bit more north-south, but that was promising for sure. I'm wondering, guys, should we look right downtown in Seoul? I don't really know how downtown Seoul would look, but my logic kind of is that this looks very residential where I've clicked, like a lot of smaller buildings. I mean, we do see mostly just apartments here, so I'm gonna go like even further downtown now. They have a women's university. Never heard of one of those before. Oh, what about this? Oh, this looks really good. Proper angle. They have World Cup Road or World Cup Row, which is interesting. All in all though, the angle's just not quite right on the north-south roads, but it looked really nice. Again, these are two small houses. Like, we're pretty much downtown Seoul though, so I'm confused. I'm a bit confused here. Maybe instead of like casting our eyes towards the middle of Seoul, it's better if we like look at Incheon as well. Could certainly be out there. I give up on that already, actually. Okay. What do we want to do here, guys? There's a helicopter pad here. If I start Googling, we could use that, maybe. Helicopter landing pads in Seoul. I bet someone's documented that. I bet. Then mostly it would just be about this baseball diamond. I think that's kind of the most useful thing I can see. It doesn't have, like, spectator seats, though, so I feel like it could be, like... Is it, like, a university campus or something? Could be the women's university, after all, but yeah, I don't know. I'm gonna turn on terrain mode because obviously it's pretty flat here. So maybe that can also give a good clue. I don't know, guys. The whole like Gangnam area just still looks like the best on the map. But I mean, it is possible that I'm like misinterpreting the way things look here. The standard map gives us actually more information than we need. Stick with the standard map. All right, no shame in busting out the Google here, and we gave it a good shot. Let's see if we can see any helicopter pads that look similar to the one we were looking at. Okay, so this one, ooh, this like neighborhood down here looks really similar, right? If I compare that, we see a bunch of these like typical green roofs, but I mean, the helicopter pad should have like a staircase inside of it. Hard to say if it does. To be fair, the one we have is like written probably in white text on like a black topped building. So can we see any of those? It is this kind of thing, but the one we can see definitely looks different to anything I've clicked on Google. It's similar to that, but not that, you know? I mean, then let's actually have a look at this. So we can see like a football field. Ooh, wait. We see a football field with like a courtyarded thing. So if we look, there's the football field with a courtyarded thing. I don't think it's that, but it is similar, to be fair. So maybe it's just a common design. But that could actually be the baseball ring, no? Oh, let's get back to that. No, I don't think it is, but I think it is a baseball ring next to a football field next to a very similar looking place. I don't know. Can we see these buildings here? These shaped ones? No. Okay, pretty much happy that we're not actually wherever this image is taken. What about just Seoul skyline? Bird's eye view. I feel like this is a less cheaty way of looking at what Seoul looks like from above. And you just realize how big this city is. Okay, let's change our tactics here. Go over to Google Maps and look up Seoul baseball field. I just want fields, not stadiums. We have a few options here. This one, clearly not gonna do. That's a stadium. We just want fields, please. Is it really gonna be that unhelpful? It's just showing us stadiums only. Baseball field near South Korea. Okay, that could work better. Okay, that does work better. Okay, let's scan the individual options here. So we have soccer and baseball there. Clearly not working. This one's too rural. This one is too rural as well. We need it to be in a very developed area. Clearly that one doesn't work either. This one's more like it, but again, like we need so many buildings around these. How convinced am I that this is a high school? Pretty convinced, to be honest. I'm gonna look up high schools. I hope it gives me a lot of options. It does. Okay, this is more like it. So first option would be this one, right? I mean, the angle of the road is good. We have a grocery store on the corner. I think this is too gridded, right? Whatever we're dealing with on here is not quite so gridded. Also, the angle is slightly wrong, but you never know. Like there's some similarity here, to be honest. I mean, okay, let's see how this looks from the street. We could probably quickly work out if it's correct or not. Yeah, to the north, I mean, seems like a schoolyard, not a field, but nonetheless, it could still be the case. Let's have a look around the corner here. I mean, this at least has some potential. Then coming towards the corner here, we have like a Volkswagen dealership, and then there's the big road. Okay, I'm just trying to like visualize how it would look on the map. I'm not very good at that. But okay, we do have like a rounded corner building. Did we not have that? It's not quite rounded though, is it? It's not the same one. But okay, I like this strategy. This one has more potential, I think. Ooh, look at that. That is a very similarly shaped building. Is it actually this after all? We looked at this before, but this looks really good, no? Look. This shape of this building is very similar to that. So then we'd have an apartment building, which could be that. It looks really nice. Oh, it looks really nice. Look at the shape of all this. Yep, it is a high school after all. So then we have this, which would be that. And then we have the big open space, which would be that. And we have all the school buildings, which are actually to the left of the field. Yeah, okay, this is definitely the 5K. It is indeed in Gangnam, but just much further west. We looked at this place earlier. I remember that, and I just didn't think it fit with the map. But yeah, that corner building was what gave it away to me. Okay, let's get in here to the map. And of course, we are going down to Gangnam, and we're going down this direction. And then the high school was just above this white section on the map near the Hangaram Art Museum. Okay, yeah, we were right near there. It should appear to me. Oh, there's the rounded building. And then we want to be clicked where they have the rooftop revival building, which if we just zoom in here, we should be able to correspond the buildings. So there's the L-shaped building, and then we're on the next one right there. Okay guys, there we go. That is a successful 5K. Let's head into the next one here. And this one immediately looks again like Seoul based on these green roofs. And there is our Heineken rooftop revival spot. Again, we're near a football field. Very nice. Those proved to be very useful. This time it's much more residential. We have a north-south road here, as well as probably a train. Wow, that's going to be super useful. The bend in the train tracks here is obviously invaluable information. This feels like it's probably a train station to me. Otherwise, what would it be? Okay, let's get into it here. Let's find how common trains actually are. Well, one, let's find a grid that fits with this. I mean, could be fairly central here, I imagine. Hongdae kind of looks similar. Yeah, could be something like that. But I mean, the problem is there that there doesn't seem to be many trains going, from what I can tell. Ooh, look at that. That's a really nicely shaped train, but we don't have the main road. Okay, train stations. I'm gonna look for train stations here, guys. Okay, there's a bunch of trains here. We want the trains to be kind of running east-west. Yeah, it is hard. This map is kind of small, so it's hard to scan for train stations. We don't have that much in the way of like specific things, or maybe it's one of these green lines. I reckon it could be one of these green lines, you know. Okay, so like this is a similar bend, but we need that north-south running road. So let's follow these green lines for a bit and see if they bend in a similar way. Like right here, the bend is too extreme, but it's that kind of thing. Okay, wait, I'm really liking this colored line strategy. What about over here? Similar to be sure, but again, not with the road. I think if we use this line strategy, I think it's gonna work actually. I think that's our ticket to the 5K here. I like that. I like that, guys. Guri. Ooh, that looks similar. So let's say we were looking at that. I mean, the shape is really nice here, but do we have that road shape? Maybe. Okay, so this is the apex of the turn. That would theoretically be there. But yeah, unfortunately, the angle of the rest of the road's not really correct. That looked good, but it is not correct, unfortunately. I think it's also probably too far out of Seoul. Like, we're not even inside the Seoul metro area, which is where I'd expect these locations to be again. So yeah, I think it's probably not actually there. Okay. I've got new development. I think that these red things are where we want to scan. The problem is they only show up pretty small on the map. The good thing is they are relatively findable at least. So if I can just find some similarly angled roads, then we could be in luck. But the thing is, like, a lot of these metro stations, right, they follow roads. Whereas this, it's above a road, to be fair. No, it is on top of a road. Okay, that is useful information. It's on top of a road on the left section. On the right section, the shadow makes it very difficult to see. It probably is a road, though. Okay, maybe just scannable from the shape of it, to be honest. But I'm not good at that type of thing, guys. I'm really not. I'm not him when it comes to that. This looks similar. Ooh. Wait, that looks really similar. Unfortunately, the angle of the road's just not quite right on the left side there. You can see it bends upwards more. This road here is really good looking, to be fair. Ooh, look at that. Train station here. Angles of everything is good here, but we just don't have that big of an intersection, I think. And the metro station here seems to be on the intersection, whereas our metro station is a bit to the right of the intersection, I would say. I think we're barking up the right tree here. I do. You know, that looks good. Ah, man, it looks really good, but then this north road is not going the right direction at all. Ah. Oh, look at that. Train station. Oh, this is it, surely. I was just looking here to the right, across the river. Look at this. Station's off to the right, okay? North, we have some green patches, namely a triangular shaped one here, and then a football. Oh, that's the football field. Oh, beautiful. Just stumbled across it. This time we didn't use Google though, so that's a big win. So the actual Heineken rooftop revival location was just above the train station. Let's line up the actual building here. It is like one road up, and then it has like a little bend in the road. mode. Of course, for security reasons, Google Maps is not the most accurate in South Korea, but I think it's this building here is that one. So then we're 2 more over. We should be on this building here. Now let's see if it actually like locates it correctly here, but I'm relatively certain. We can turn on satellite mode here. Obviously it looks different. You can see that's the park and you can see that is the football field as expected. And if we zoom in, there is the white painted, whatever that thing is, the train station. Okay, let's guess. That is the 5K. Excellent. I'm more than confident that indeed we did it the correct way both times. Good to know also that the satellite mode is different. I'll be doing another one of these locations over on the GeoGuessr Explained channel. And yeah, big shout outs to Heineken for sponsoring their video. I'm a fan of their beer too, so I was happy to take them up. And I think the whole rooftop revival campaign, it is pretty cool because nowadays in a city like Seoul, so many people, and the irony is that a lot of people are very disconnected when they live so close to many others. Look at the expanse here. Well, guys, once again, thanks to Heineken for sponsoring the video. Hope you all enjoyed it. And I think we actually did some good detective work today. It was a lot of fun. I'll see you guys in a video very soon. Till next time, and goodbye.